Hello, welcome everybody to another episode of Ask the Expert. This is episode number 2. I have my guest Francesco Ciulla here. He is the developer advocate for daily.dev. Now, how I get to know him is one day I'm searching on the internet, on the YouTube, asking what is DevRels all about? And one of the video pops up is by Francesco, and I like what he shared, and I start to look for his videos, and there are more videos that like pique my interest. And one day in his Twitter post, he shared how he did first started doing like content about 3 years ago, and like I said, wow, he has improved a lot. I must talk to him. So happy to welcome to the channel, Francesco here. Hi. Thank you
Hi.
very much for being on my channel. Yeah, very happy for you to be here. Now, I really curious as well. Though I do have like stalked you quite a bit about like what you have been doing and all these things, but I still want to hear it from the horse's mouth that like how you become a deaf advocate.
Yes, so first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It seems that my DevRel videos, let's say, are spreading out. So I'll try to be as short as possible. So I have a past in sports. I've been a volleyball coach since I was 15 to 32. So I've never not been in tech for my whole career. Then I've been a full stack developer for the European Space Agency for around 3 years. But in 2020, we know that something happened, COVID. So we stayed a lot at home. For example, I focused more on social media, all the stuff, the YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel finally in 2020. And so, long story short, I decided to quit that job in 2021 and dedicate more to content creation, social media, and all this stuff. Basically, I started creating a lot of content, and in May or June 2021, I became a Docker captain. A Docker captain is a sort of ambassador for Docker. I also, it's by chance, I have a bottle of swag that they sent me. It's by chance. The day after, I got an offer as a developer advocate. For people who don't know what a developer advocate is basically a person who is the person in the middle between a company and developers. So he's a person who is in charge of talking to developers about the company and also get feedback about the company from developers, maybe from a technical perspective, establishing trust, creating events like this. For example, this podcast could be like a good fit. Like if we are both developer advocates, it could be a good fit. So the DevRel, it's basically developer relations. So it's just let's say doing activities but with a technical background. This is let's say the one-liner definition.
Cool. You are not the first person that I talk to that they get into DevRel related positions kind of like by accident. And I didn't really know that as well. When how I get into something similar is I get into be a technical writer by accident as well. That I go talk to the people, and they said they look for somebody to kind of develop some training material for developers, and that's how I get into Web3, and that's how I get into uh, as a technical writer. I didn't know that it falls under the DevRel that time, and until much later, about this 1-2 year, then I said, "Oh, there's something called the DevRel," and then I watch your video, and that's the video that really got my interest. Is when you were being interviewed as well, and you mentioned that like do not send CV to an employer.
That's a good
You know,
one. That's a good
that
one. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So I really like that. So I would like you to kind of like share with us more that why you say that, and probably some more stories about like how that relates to you and why you say that.
Yes, so to give some context, let's say this is not usually a tip that I give, and I gave a lot of disclaimers. So I don't want people to stop sending CVs. The idea is that, especially for developer advocacy, I think that it should be the company that reaches out to you in 80%, 90% of the cases, and I'll explain you why. If you are a company, you understand and you know, let's say, I don't know, I like this person, I like their style, I like how they, I don't know, they behave in front of the camera, maybe, or for their technical skills. But usually, as a person, even if you're a big content creator, I mean, I don't know what Microsoft needs now to advocate for their product. I might have an idea, but I don't know. So this is why you can still apply for developer positions, but usually also I have many friends now in developer advocacy. Most of them they found the job when the company reached out to them. It's not that they are not looking for a job, but it's more like, I would say, that you can focus more on, like, I don't know, you like making YouTube videos, then you make this. And then if a company finds you, spoiler, I found this job at daily.dev because I interviewed the SEO 3 years
Oh,
ago, and then he offered me the job. So it's just one of, it's like I'm a real living example of this. So you create different type of content, and then based on this, companies, they see your value, say, we really need a person who can handle our webinar series. I'm also now doing this daily dev. So that's why I gave this strong statement, because I think that it's a good strategy instead of just trying to just send CV. If you want, of course, I'm not against that. We can still be friends. I was just in that video. I wanted to just propose strategy. If maybe, I don't know, sending 1,000 CVs is not working, maybe you should change strategy. As I said, was a coach in the past. If something is not working, maybe you can try to change strategy, focus on creating content, focusing on more on what you like. Because usually, as developer advocates, we like to transmit our passion, our excitement for coding, for new tools, for new languages. And so this is a crucial part of being a developer advocate, no matter if you work for a company. For example, now I'm working for daily dev, but I still do Docker stuff. Now I'm starting to learn Rust as a programming language. So it's you're still a developer that does the own thing, and that's it. But yeah, I'm happy that video led me to this channel. So by creating content, basically you are spreading the word, even maybe in a place where you don't know. So it's it. I don't know if it was the red cross that it worked on the thumbnail, because the thumbnail has many clicks. Maybe this is what worked and what led me here in this channel.
oh, that's cool. Um, because of your story of this, right? It led me to think about like, it seems like our content is kind of like our CV. So creating content is like we constantly uh, we should never have one CV for every company, and we should not have like a CV that never be updated. We should constantly update our CV. It's just like if we taking our content as our CV, we should consistent in creating the content, and that is very difficult. And I really salute you for your consistency for creating videos. Like I counted it averagely a video in 3 days, probably more. So what's your secret, and any advice you can give to anybody who want to start creating content consistently?
Yes, I would like to say clones as an answer, but let's. I sadly don't have any clone, but I can let you understand. So, as I said, for my whole life I've been a teacher. Also, both of my parents are teachers, math teachers, and let's say gym teacher, and I've been also teaching in math, chemistry, and physics for my whole life until I was like 32, 33. So when I became a developer, I basically stopped teaching for a while because I said, okay, now I'm just doing this role as a full stack developer. It's good, but when you have like that vibe that something is missing in your life, because if you do something for a long period, you miss doing this. So I still remember that in January 2020 I started being active on social media, and in February, by the way, I hated social media before. And in February, yes, of course, and in February 2020 I released my first article. And I remember that when I released that article in February 2020, I had again that vibe of like teaching to people, sharing my content. And this is why I started. So it was not to improve personal branding or changing my life. I already had a job. I had anything, but I was really missing this part of sharing my knowledge. And now I'm very happy because I do live streams when I teach live, and then I record the video that becomes a video then the week after. So I love this, yeah, Ivy. So it's I think it's, I don't know. If you are a teacher, you understand me. Otherwise, probably you can't understand. But probably yes, having all this teaching DNA for my whole life, my parents talking about school 24/7 at home, caused me and influenced me in a way that I really love to transmit what I learn and so on. So I really felt with. But this is the trick. Like if you do something that if you are really passionate about it, and not like for the views and something like that at the beginning, then you can be more consistent because I was doing this and it
Mm,
really made me feel very good. Now it's, I can say, it's in some ways now it's easier because I already have an audience on Twitter, on YouTube. But now it's easier. At the beginning, it's harder because not many people they watch your videos. Not many people look at your tweets. I remember me making, just if you want to have fun, I remember me making a tweet in December 2019. It was like it was a hackathon, something like this. I made a tweet saying like, "Who would like to make this hackathon with me? Let's create a team." And I received a zero, zero replies, zero likes. I still remember that. It still hurts. Probably if I would say, make the same tweet now, I would have the opposite problem and having many people, maybe too many people that wanted to do this. But it's all about building this step by step and slowly. I am a huge fan of sustainability. So I
mm,
think I strongly think that we should never have not even a small chance of getting burned out on social media. Otherwise, we are doing something wrong. I would rather prefer to
mm,
maybe change topic, change something new, uh, make less content for a while. It's absolutely okay. My goal is to stay on social media for 20, 30 more years, even after retirement. So I'm literally here for the long run, and this is working because it can really help me to keep doing everything I'm doing, and on the side I enjoy doing this. I'm really enjoying, for example, being here today. And this is, I think, it's the real secret to really enjoy your journey as a content creator. I also are serious on my YouTube channel when I make a podcast, I interview people, but it was not planned. I just published a coffee chat with one of my friends at the beginning, and then it became a thing. We don't know. Sometimes we don't know. I don't know if you, when you made a YouTube channel, you already had the idea to make a podcast and make this. Sometimes we don't know. We plan this after we have a platform. We need to build everything from scratch. So this is more or less the idea that of me creating content, and I really love this. And I would like to say here, thank you to everyone who ever watched a second of my video and they liked it or share it. I think it's it's a great reward, I would say. Yeah.
that's really inspiring. I think that this kind of like the motivations coming from within is something that like it can really it would be long lasting. Something pretty funny here is I do think that having parents or parents who are teachers kind of like make you have a tendency to be a deaf rail. My mother uh, was a teacher. She retired now, and I growing up helping her sometimes to even mark some simple like objective questions those days that like we do not have computer much, and help her to kind of draw some pictures. I grew up that way as well, and I do find that like probably you get being trained since very young that like you like to share what you learn. Oh, that's very interesting. um Now you have made so many videos. I do believe that like along the way, there will be some struggle you have that I probably like, okay, what videos I'm going to, what contents, or maybe not videos. I believe you have other contents as well. What content to create? Like sometimes, uh, even though you are very passionate and motivate, but humans is human. Do you ever feel that like I feel like I want to be lazy today? Did you have this kind of struggle like ever?
No, everything was perfect. No, I'm joking. It was the opposite, probably. Nice. So, yes, I can. While you were making the question, I had that ready two. I would like to see just two of them. So I remember me. So the first struggle it was to actually create the first video because I made the YouTube channel in 2010, and my first video is 2020. So I made my first video after 10 years. So as I can say, I've been waiting for a while. I will say before starting. So if you're waiting to create a YouTube channel to beat me, it's very easy. Why? Because in my mind, I always wanted to create content in English to reach more people. Like you, for example, I reached you now, and but it was a struggle for me. It was a blocker. Yeah, of course, I'm not a native speaker, as you can probably imagine. And for me, it was really hard. I mean, I still have a strong accent in Italy, in Rome. We have a strong and also funny accent. Some people even like it, but it was a struggle for me. This really blocked me. So that was the first struggle. Publish the first video. Something funny. The first videos are not even about tech, but it's me just running because I like running.
Yes.
So it was
Mhm.
me running in Rome. I say my first words in a video on the 11th video. So let's say it took me a while, even after I started creating content. It was a real struggle. I mean, I put some music in background, but it was a real struggle. I also remember that I was doing this for charity, and I felt so bad because I wasn't even able to say like on camera, like please donate to. It was a donation charity thing. I felt so bad. That's like okay, I'm trying to do this, but it was impossible. I was not happy with my everything basically. This was the first struggle. The second struggle, it was after making these running videos, my final goal it was to make technical content. For example, I'm a huge fan of Docker, as you can probably say. But creating a video, it costed me like I don't know 3 weeks of working, hundreds of tries. I'm not joking, hundreds of tries. The process was so clunky, so bad that. And then I released a video. Okay, thousands of views, but like this required me like almost 3 weeks. It's too much. Like to this, so this was not sustainable. And as I said, I like to make something sustainable, and I get out of that by starting making this podcast series. This is how I monetized the YouTube channel. I made 100 interviews like this in 100 days. So I've been posting every day for 3 months and 10 days a video like this. So this and it seems like a strong commitment, but I was
Mhm.
recording some. After a while, I became like used. Okay, I called all my friends, everything, and basically I started making this on a daily basis for 3 months, and this is how I monetized the YouTube channel. So I solved this issue, I would say. So the interview series is what made me monetize the channel, and also I got some experience in speaking in English for free, I would say. So having 100 people and starting to make practice
Mm,
speaking in English for 100 days, I
mm,
started to see the pronunciation is improving now. I started even to think in English, which is the hardest part, of course.
mm.
And this is how I solved my first struggles. Last
Wow.
struggle, I can keep talking about struggles for a while, but let's make the short version. In 2023, it was amazing, but because I traveled a lot, I made like 15 travels. I traveled to India, I traveled to the US 4 times, just to give an idea, to Berlin, all the Europe, Tel Aviv, even. So I traveled a lot, but I didn't schedule much content on my YouTube channel, so my channel was struggling, I would say. So at the end of October, my channel it was still growing, but slower than usual. I would say like 200, 300 subscribers per month. A good one. but I was struggling. So in November, I decided to publish 5 videos per week on a consistent basis, and nothing happened. The whole November, I had basically, it's like when you start a diet and you see no changes. So like, okay, what's going on? Like, because I'm struggling a lot and I can't see the results. And so one whole month, November, I said, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But you know what? I said, okay, we are in December. At the end of 2023, let's keep doing this 3-4 more weeks, and then I don't know. In January, I have to change strategy, to do something different, because it's not working. I'm putting so much effort in publishing 5 videos per week. It's not working. 1 week in December, 2 weeks in December, 3 weeks in December, and then something happened. Basically, now my YouTube channel is growing almost 1,000 subscribers per day, which is just to give an idea. In September, October, and November, I did 1,000 subscribers in the 3 months. Yesterday, I made 1,000 subscribers. So just to give an idea that on how you can struggle, but if you have like a strategy, you're a bit stubborn for an extended period of time, so which is not like days, but it's like months, you might start to see results. So this is the short version. I also had many more struggles, but let's stop for this. Otherwise, this will become like Francesco struggles. So this is a whole series. So that's it. That's it for now.
Well, that is really inspiring. I think that, like, you redefine stubborn, and stubborn can be something good. Just I don't care. I just continue in creating content and all this. And as I do saw that, like, just the past few days, your subscription is really shooting. And I watched your recent video about installing Rust as well, because I recently picked up Rust. Like, I've been doing it for the past 1 month, and I still learned something from you about the very basic thing, which I think, my blocker at the very beginning is there's so many people already creating the content that I want to create. So what's the difference? And that shows me also that everybody creating the content from a different angle, they see different things. So even though a topic has been created for so many times, probably people can still learn from you. So that's something I see from that video that you did just like a few days ago. Thank you. And now I would like to ask you to kind of pick, if you remember, which video you like the most. But first, I did check out. There is a few videos that have the most view. The first one is about ChatGPT. The second one is about Solidity, and that was about like a year ago. So probably that's accumulated. And the third one is about 2 weeks ago. Is about REST API. So probably this would also explain that, like, what kind of video people like, and probably helped you to push up your subscriptions. But aside from this, if you to pick of all the video you make, which is your favorite?
Okay, let me slowly check all the 400 videos, and then I let you know. No, maybe I don't think we have time. First of all, thank you so much for getting interested in my YouTube channel. It's a pleasure. It's a very hard question because I make different types of videos. Probably at the moment, the full stack Rust full stack app with Rust, it's my favorite one because it's a complete zero to done with an Next.js on the front end. I'm using Docker, which of course, again, is one of my favorite technologies, if not my favorite one. I create a backend in Rust without framework, so it's very, let's say, hands-on example. So probably that's currently my favorite one from a technical perspective. I have other videos that I really love that, for example, I don't know, to celebrate that I quit my job, or to celebrate that I found a new job. So there's like more, let's say, emotional ones. Let's stick to this one because I think this is what also represents me now. This my focus on the content. This has been basically the video that kickstarted this let's say, good growth, I don't know, good, insane. I mean, of course, it depends. There are people who do better on YouTube, but for my personal perspective, like starting to create these full stack applications in one go live, it's something that makes me really proud, because it's not that easy. I feel that I
Mhm.
like really improved, because like typing while trying to entertain people, and then you have, of course, some bugs, something that you want to fix live, this feeling, and it's a great sensation when you finish them. It's really really good. So I would like to put this one. Also, yes, I started this series about Rust. I'll do this every week for at least all January, all the September, all the Saturday
Mhm.
uh, afternoon. I'll make a video. So this is also a new series that I'll start to work about the originality. So to be original, you should make an article about relativity every day, because that's original. Original, it was Einstein when he created the relativity. So that's something original.
Mm.
Nobody's really original, because we tend to have similar interests. But especially when we make videos, just our tone of voice, it's already enough to make this unique. And some people will not
Mm.
don't like it. It's okay. And some people will even like it. For example, I'm receiving so many comments about that they like my style of teaching. Maybe because I've also been a teacher for my whole life. Now I'm teaching Rust, but before I was teaching math, chemistry, physics. So I have some background in teaching, and this makes me really proud. I think also my parents. So why not? I would say that all of us, we are special in some ways. Videos is probably one of the biggest expressions, because basically we put everything about ourselves, our imperfections, our nose, our something that really makes us unique. But I think this is what really the reason why we should create content, no matter what, is that this can really help someone. And
Mm.
maybe you create even a single connection, and I never see someone creating Docker videos or Rust videos as competitors. They can be probably my best friends. We can even make collaborations and so on. So this is, I think, the mindset that can really make you shine as a content creator, right? I invited so many people on my channel. I made so many collaborations, and now the channel is going well. So I would say, why not? I think that creating content that you really like, I think it's really, really a key. So that's, of course, the best of luck, everyone.
Yeah. So if your video have only one person interested in it, that would be me, and then it leads you here. And yeah, it reminds me that like when I first put up my video on the YouTube, it took me it took me a while, quite a number of days to really click the button to upload it. I've been thinking
I know.
over a few
Why
days.
why is that button so red? They should be like green, like put something like
Like,
make it
more
less stressful. Why
inviting,
is it
right?
so? It looks scary. I
It,
remember this, and you know what? I'll tell you something, because I really feel you in this moment. When I published my first video, I didn't announce it. It was the 7th of August 2020. And I mean, I had some audience on Twitter, but I was so scared that I couldn't make it that I didn't even announce it. And basically, on the 7th of August, hey, I made my first video. But because I was not sure if I could actually publish it. And yes, I can feel and I can still remember this. It was yes, it was August 2020, and yes, it can be scary, because I think that my life really started to change after publishing videos on YouTube. My life literally started to change, and also I got some people happy. Some people say, Francesco, maybe I don't know why are you starting this thing. Some people didn't like this idea. I was also always very shy. Even my former now colleagues, they say like, Francesco, are you sure that you want to make a YouTube channel? You don't seem like a YouTube channel a YouTube person. So this is the best way to motivate me, by the way. It's telling me that I can't do something. Thank you to everyone who said that I was not a YouTube person. So that's and that's it. And yes, but I can say that probably posting videos on the YouTube channel, it has been one of the best decisions in my life, because of course we expose ourselves, and we are also doing this
Mm-hmm.
on the channel, to judgment, especially women. I'm not even getting started, but let's say for everyone, to judgment, people just offending you from an anonymous account. Like there are some cons,
Mm-hmm.
but the benefits are so many that you should not care about this, because the benefits are so many compared to some bad comments you might receive. Like you can get a job, get a six figures job, you can start working remotely, you can decide whatever you want to express yourself, you can decide formats, you can decide to go live, shorts, long formats videos, you can even remove videos, so you have absolute freedom. I don't know, Ivy, the freedom on one side, and receiving some bad comments. It's okay. I mean, we can't please
Mm-hmm.
everyone. At some point, I think we develop a sort of thick skin that say, okay, it's it's okay. I received the one. It's funny because some I received, for example, a video some days ago of, like, basically I was doing like a basic Docker video, okay, to explain to someone, and someone, probably they didn't know me, they came and say like, hey, this is too basic, you should do this, that of course I know, but it's like, going to a primary school and telling teachers, hey, you should not teach this basic stuff, but hey, let me do my job, I'm explaining this to beginners.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think
Right.
this. I
You
also
do.
think this. I think that when we start receiving some bad comments or some, let's say, judgments, it's a sign that we are growing. Because if we just do something and we receive what I usually call like the grandma feedback, like, "Hey, awesome! Whatever I do for my grandma, it's great." I'll say. But when you
Mm-hmm.
start, like, people who maybe don't even know that I am a Docker captain, that I've been doing this for 10 years, it's a sign. I take this, okay, so if this person is now watching this video and putting this random comment, it seems that I'm growing. And in fact, this was a sign that I was growing on YouTube and like reaching new audience. And people say, hey, who is this funny Italian guy? And so this is the thing. But you also, in the meanwhile, you also find new people. I'm talking too much, by the way.
Oh, no. I really start to feel like resonate with what you're saying. Some of it is really what I went through as well. Um, yeah, but anyway, I want to come back to the last questions I want to ask you, and where is the about the topic, create the content people love. But after talking to you, listening to you, allowed me to try to answer the questions for you, and you see whether I got it right. Okay, so my question is, about the topic: how to make content that people like or love. After talking to you, my conclusion is, first, you need to love the topic you are creating. You need to be passionate about it. Then people can feel the content, that the love you're giving through the content, and they will love the content. That's my, that's what I get from you talking to you like for the past 30 minutes. So, do you have anything to add to the questions? How to create content that people love?
Yes, I have something to add, which is very simple, which is ask this to people. So for me, what really helped me, it was starting making polls on YouTube. So it's like, do you want this video, on this video? Like I could make a video on all three of them, and usually people always vote the one that I would not, that I like the least. But it's, it's a compromise between what I can do and what people
Mm,
want. So for me, getting feedback from people and making my channel lately very community driven, I would say, it has been a game changing thing. Now I already know that when I'm about to make some video, people are more likely to love it, because I know, because I asked. So it's really, it doesn't show that I am not insecure and that I don't know what to do. I prefer to have an answer. Like, do you want I don't know, do you want a video, I don't know, in Go or Python? Like 90% of the people say Go. And because, for example, I could do like both of the videos. The Python one was almost prepared. People voted Go 90%. I made the Go video first. Very simple. It's like I could do both of them. Probably at some point I do all the videos I want anyway. But asking this to people, first of all, it creates a connection, and then like people started to know, like, okay, if Francesco makes a poll, I'm really deciding the next content. So people start to think, okay, so it's not just a poll to get some votes. I don't care, but you can understand what people like, and then you make your conclusions. But this can really help to make content that it's relevant to your audience, because it's hard to understand all our audience. It's a very diverse. Some people want beginner level, some people want more advanced stuff. I prefer to ask, and it is also I think also a good way as a YouTuber, as a creator, to like giving more powers to the people who are watching you. Because I base this also on myself. Like if I find a channel that does what I vote, I'm more likely like to engage, to subscribe, to answer more people, because this can really help me for real. It's not just a person. We should understand that YouTubers are people, are not a machine. They're not programs. They are people with life problems. They get sick. Yes, you can get sick as a YouTuber, but at the end of the day, we want to create a connection with that person. So probably the best solution is to ask, especially on that platform. For example, in the past, I was doing this mistake for years. Like I asked, like on Twitter, like what kind of video do you want me to create, and then I create the video on YouTube. Now I'm making the poll primarily on YouTube because this is the platform I'm currently using. I mean, if I want an extra poll, an extra point of view, I also ask this on other platforms. But asking this on the platform itself makes more sense. And I made this mistake so many times. And I was saying like, oh, why it didn't work? Because you should ask to the people who are currently subscribed to your YouTube channel, for example. So this helped me a lot recently, for example. So that's it from me. And yes.
That is very useful tips. I definitely going to use that. Thank you very much. You know, why I create this series, Ask the Expert, is it solely come from a pretty selfish reason that I want to know about how to create, for example, how to create content that people love. And while I get the answer for myself, I'm thinking why don't I share with other people as well? So that's the reason I start. Something I want to know, I find the reason answer, and I want to share it with other people as well. So that's how it comes about.
Yeah.
But I think that your way of getting what content to create, I think that is just very good as well. I shall start to do that as well. No, great. We have been talking a lot. I mean, even me have been talking a lot. I'm supposed to ask questions. I like to do, but I have been talking as well. I like our conversations. And now, I want to ask two more questions. But the first one is, do you have anything to add? I mean, it's like, we're coming to the end of the sessions. Do you have anything to add that, I did not ask that, or you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to make a comment about the being selfish. I think that's great. It's we should stop saying like, I mean, doing something. We should be selfless, like in our heart. That's a great quality. But when we create content, like to help someone else, first of all, we should like do something that we like, because the reason is simple. If I start doing something that I just hate, just to please someone, I can do one, two. I can go. Maybe I can keep going for a month because I'm kind of stubborn. But at the end, you will stop. At the end, you stop, even if you are very stubborn. Instead, if you are selfish, like you are doing is great. Probably if you send me like just a DM, and sometimes I receive like a DM asking me these same exact questions. Sometimes I don't have time to reply one by one every time. Instead, if you ask me and you do this publicly, I am way more likely to do this in a space, in a live. This is the proof, even if we don't know each other. So this is a great mindset. Like, you want something for yourself, and also I learned a lot. Like, because especially on YouTube, inviting other people who had previous experiences, I know what might work, what might not work, and basically getting this their experience, and they are like real experience. It's not like just a course on how to grow on YouTube. It's a real experience from a person that come on my YouTube channel, and I can give feedback. We can talk about whatever you want. We already shared a lot of stuff. I think that having a plan can really help. I'm trying to improve on this because, for example, as I said, in 2022, I was not scheduling my videos. I was just, okay, let's do this. When I need an idea, let's do that. Now I have a solid plan. I mean, I made a plan for all the live stream, for example, for the whole January, and I've also the rest of them are already scheduled for the whole 2024. Plans might change, but I really, at least I have a plan of what I want to do. I have like 5 videos scheduled on my channel, and now I sleep so well. I mean, because when you have many videos scheduled, they will go out. So another tip that I also would like to give to the Francesco of 2023: schedule more video content can really help, because you can still have your life, and there are some types of content like shorts, instead of just doing it and publishing, which will be like the temptation that I always did like this. My first 700 videos, I never scheduled any of them, maybe once. So now I'm learning to be more structured and with a method. So even if I have an emergency, even if I don't know, but even if now I get sick for a whole week, I will still have 2-3 videos per week on my channel, which it can happen. And this is the last thing that I think it can really help. I also think, I don't know if that's public, that YouTube really likes if you publish a video always at the same exact time. So like now I've been doing this like, I don't know, exactly on a Sunday 3 p.m., Tuesday 3 p.m. So I feel like it's a very strict schedule. It's working very well. So it's I don't know if there is something in the code on the YouTube algorithm that they are let's say basically suggesting more if you have a very clear schedule, or maybe your audience, I don't know, now people, they expect tomorrow I have a video coming up because it's a Tuesday, so I make a live stream on Saturday. On Tuesday I publish the edited video. It's already prepared and scheduled, for example. This is what I would like to say. So schedule some videos, even if you start scheduling one per week, and I don't know, maybe you record 4 shorts in a Sunday, 3 shorts, and then instead of just publishing all of them, you stop and you schedule, okay, next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So in the worst case, even if you forget about your YouTube channel for a month, you will still have a, let's say, decent schedule. This is what I missed in 2023, so I'm gonna try to improve in this.
Yeah, I heard of that as well. So I think that like probably it's gonna work as well. Now, the last question is really impromptu. I didn't know that I'm going to ask this as well, like before even this session start. Now, I've been trying to. I have been watching a Diary of CEO, and he always have the previous guest to ask the next guest a question. I kind of want to replicate that, but I do not want to do the same. But do not know what to do. But suddenly during the sessions just now, something pops up because my first guest, the previous guest, which is Bianca, ended up asking me a questions at the end of the session. So I kind of like want to replicate that. Francesco, do you have a questions from me? Like anything that you would like to ask, like suddenly, like
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. First of all, I met Bianca this year in Denver. So I traveled so much that now if you mention a random person, there is a high chance that I met them somewhere in 2023. So I met Bianca in Eat Denver in March 2023, last year, I mean. A question I would like to maybe ask you: what's your goal with your YouTube channel? Because I think having a goal can understand. Like, do you want to make this as a hobby, as a full time, to find a different role? Like, do you have a goal now? Nothing wrong if you don't have it, but I think this is like the core part of understanding everything else, which is like the scheduling the videos and like the basically the reason why you are trying to push videos on YouTube.
Thank you very much. It made me think back when you asked me the questions, like, it flashback for like, why I started it. Why I started it is I really would like to put myself out to the public that like I am an educator in the Web3 scene. Um, Other than that, I would like to. It's not. I do not. Other than that, I do not really know exactly what I want to do, but I do not. I do know what I do not want to do. I know that I do not want to talk about blockchains, only about crypto or house the prices. That's not something I want to do. I want to let people know that blockchain is so much more about cryptocurrency. There's so much more things you can do. As NFT is so much more than just a picture. I want to talk about the real stuff, and I talk more about like the technical stuff. To a lot of people, is kind of boring, but I must say that like I'm glad that even my subscription is kind of low, but they are all organic and they are all people who are really interested. I can tell from the comment and all this, or I'm happy with it that they looking for the real content. That's something I know that I want to do, and what I do not want to do. So that is how I started the channel. And do I have a real goal for 2024? Not yet. Probably just something I really need to think about. And thanks for the tips you have. Thank you for the
Yes.
questions.
Yes, I am on the same page, so I'm more on the educational part, and I never shared a crypto finance tip, but I've been like a public speaker for many conferences in India, talk about blockchain like from an educational point of view. And yes, so best of luck. And I think that understanding what we don't want to do is the key, because we might maybe change our goal. And to be honest, I prefer a person who says like, I currently don't have a goal because it makes sense, rather than having a goal which is not true. So in your case, you say like, I currently don't have it, which is honest. The day you will say, now I have this goal on my YouTube channel because I don't know, there is a new opportunity, there is a new uh, series of videos that are going very well, and now now usually it's harder to decide what to do than doing it. Like once you know, like, okay, now these videos are going very well, I also love this. For example, this is happening now with Rust for me. It's easier, at least for me it's easier, because I just have to do it instead of just planning or trying to do something that I don't want to do. So great answer, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the questions, and thank you who the audience that has been with us all this while. There's no questions for us. I think that we have been like sharing a lot, talking a lot, and if you have any questions, you can always put it in the comment. We can always like answer it later on as well. And thank you very much again, Francesco, for being here. And that's all for today. See you guys.
Miltiadis,
Bye.
you are late. We joined. We have one now. Bye.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Hey, hello. All right. See you. Bye.